Well, I feel like common sense is something we're all born with. It's just a matter of finding it.
You don't think that's a learned thing? I
think
see. I feel like it's an experience thing. Like once you experience a lot of things, for me, common sense, I feel, is realizing that when you're talking about, if you're talking about like existential, like the world and big
yeah,
problems and stuff like that, why is this way? Why did this happen? I think common sense is being like, what's the absolute simplest explanation? And that's most likely what is the reasoning behind things that are happening,
yeah,
right? And as humans, we tend to want big, giant, fantastic explanations for things, which is why conspiracy theories run rampant and all that kind of
right,
stuff. Where it's like if you take a couple seconds and look at it and you go, well, this conspiracy theory doesn't work with everybody that would have to be involved.
right.
But this, like, oh, this was the simplest way to get to this solution. That makes sense.
Right.
We're more likely there. That's the Occam's razor.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so I think that on big things, but I think even like little things, it's when you find efficient ways of doing something, that's common sense, right? When you plan your morning and you're like, I lose my keys every morning, so you buy a little hook and you hang them so they're in the same place all the time, that's common sense. When you don't exercise that and you leave them in pants and under pillows and in couch cushions and things like that, you're not problem solving,
Right.
right? It's little things that you do to make your life easier, to expedite your journey through the day.
Okay.
I think that's common sense, in one aspect to it, like on the granular level.
I always thought it was more of a little bit of an instinctual thing. Um, Obviously, there's varying degrees, right? So, like a 2-year-old doesn't have common sense,
Sure.
right?
But
But
they do have a survival instinct,
they do have instinct.
right? Yeah.
So I link it more with a little bit of instinct and then just the ability to function easier in life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily find it as a learned thing, like I don't know.
I can see some of that. Like I think that there is, like, I think it's in our DNA um to try and survive, to try and procreate, to
Right.
find food. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
things like that are just kind of like in your DNA. Um
But like even like
there's
like
a
we're talking
lion, let me hide, you know, like that.
sure. Like the flailing about down the street,
Right.
people moving out of the way and stuff like that. Like I feel like you don't necessarily get taught as a child, like, don't do that, otherwise you're going to punch people in the face by mistake.
Right. Okay.
It's something that evolves within you. It's the instinct that kind of evolves within you, I think.
I think that if you're a child, a lot of kids run around and
Sure.
flail about and run into other people and run to strangers and stuff. And I think there's a lot of parents going, "Hey, don't do that. You can't do that here.
Hmm.
Stay by us. Don't run to strange people. Don't
Yeah.
swing around here. You might hit somebody." I think that does happen to kids.
Hmm.
I don't have kids, so I don't know. So, I mean, have you had those talks with your kids?
My son has no spatial awareness.
Okay.
I've gotten knocked in the face with his big old head a
Okay.
number of times.
All right.
As soon as like last week. He overall has common sense, just no spatial awareness.
Okay. So
Maybe I need to hammer that point home.
you might have to have that talk.
Might have to have that talk.
Doesn't seem like he's learning that one or
Believe
figuring
me,
that one.
after getting hit in the nose by the back of a head for the third or fourth time, it was like, dude, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm willing to
He has a big
admit
head,
being
though.
wrong. I know. I know. I feel bad.
Well, yeah, it's clearly from you.
It's from me.
It's
It's not from Jen.
it's not from Jen. It's definitely from you. As a fellow big head,
Yeah.
I get it. And when your body's really small, you're top heavy,
He doesn't have that big,
right? It's like a lead balloon.
Poor Gavin. He's a good kid.
Well, he doesn't have a lead balloon, but I'm saying, like, it's if you're holding a balloon and it's just like that's a small body, big head. That's what it is. You're
yeah.
like, my neck gets such a workout.
He's not even here to defend himself.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about big heads.
Oh, okay. All right. He doesn't have that big head.
No, his isn't like either of ours.
No, it's not yet.
Well, he'll grow into it.
He'll grow into it. Yeah. He'll eventually.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It's gonna be so hard to find hats.
Yeah.
If I find a hat, I buy all of them. I'm like, what style is this? I'm getting them all. I need choice in my life, and the only choice in my life gets to be color, I guess.
That's terrible. That's
once the style hits, there you go.
We tried on a lot of hats in Nashville.
We did. You can pull off a cowboy hat. You just got scared.
I did.
I think you should have got one.
You thought I should have gotten one. I was.
And we never tried on boots. We should have tried on boots.
We didn't try on boots. We should have gone back and tried on boots.
Yeah.
But we got rabbit slider
we
instead.
did get rabbit sliders instead.
And that was delicious.
I think if I had tried on boots, if I had found one pair of boots that looked cool, I would have bought them. I would have just been like,
yeah.
I don't have a pair of these.
Well, you're more of a shoe guy than I am.
I have these now.
You're definitely more of a shoe guy than I am.
Yeah.
I